All right, everyone. Welcome back to Ep.2 with the Santa Fe Gloom. Got some great guests today in Chucky and Jorge. There are goalkeepers for the Santa Fe Gloom. If you guys just want to quickly introduce yourselves, just kind of your first memories growing up playing soccer. And Jorge, we'll start with you.
My name's Jorge Morales, born in Guadalajara, Mexico, but raised here in Santa Fe, New Mexico for more than 20 years. So I've been here all my life. Um, I had a few memories when I was in Mexico. That's when I started playing with my friends out in the school, the neighborhood I used to live in. I started getting more into soccer once I started school here. I met a lot of people, and then that's how I started. I started doing Sunday leagues with them, and most of them I still play with them till now. So it's been a long journey, a lot of playing.
And how and why goalie? How did that come about?
Um, well, I used to be a defender. I think it was when I was 11 or 10. I used to be a defender, and I was one of the tallest kids. So our keeper broke the hands, both his hands, in one of the game. He jumped and he landed on both of his hands. So since I was the tallest, I was, I guess, asked picked to be goalie. So I said yes. I played one season as a goalkeeper, and then for the next season we were gonna get somebody else, but I liked it and I liked being there, so I was like, you know what? I was like, no, I'll just be goalkeeper for the rest of the season for the summer. So I stayed as a goalkeeper and then started playing indoor with the same team, and I liked it even more. That's why I kept being a goalkeeper.
That's great. Easy. That's probably how like a lot of goalies start, just maybe kind of by accident, right? I mean, even like my story when I was in college, my first couple games, I sat the bench like most college players do, and then one of our players, he scored a goal, and then he went to celebrate, and he twisted his ankle, and so then they're like, "All right, send David in," and then that's how
Yeah.
it started. So fair enough. And Chuki, tell us your story, man. First memories of playing soccer and just growing up and how this all came about into a good soccer career.
No, the legend of Chucky to start playing soccer was a little wild one. I was a baseball player. I was a baseball player up until I want to say 15, and then that's when I started doing a dual sport. Um, well, in fact, I had a scholarship to continue playing baseball after high school, but I chose soccer. Um, Fortunately, I didn't have a scholarship to do soccer, but the dedication led me to join all these different leagues and compete at all these different levels. So that's something that I'm really grateful for. I guess you could say my fondest memory of me playing soccer was when I started practicing when I was like 14 for my high school, and we went from there. And now I've landed here, and I play for the Santa Fe Gloom, and I play for the New Mexico Runners, which is both very competitive teams. So that's something that I'm really grateful for that it didn't pan out with baseball.
What position did you play in baseball? Catcher?
I was a catcher,
Yeah.
correct?
All right. Cool. And Chuki, tell us about your experiences with the runners, New Mexico Elite, and just playing at that pro level, and then just kind of what led you to the Santa Fe Gloom.
Oh, my fondest memories, man. With New Mexico Elite, we've been around. That organization has been around for a while. It's competed at various competitive tournaments. We actually won last year. George was a part of the team with us. The AMF, American Futsal League. We won the championship. We actually beat Brusa. No, we actually beat Brusa in the semi. Am I correct, George?
Yeah, in the semifinal we played flagship in the final.
Okay, correct. Yeah.
And that,
So,
those games
and
were in
then with the
Albuquerque.
yeah, correct.
Okay.
And then with the New Mexico Runners, great organization. It plays in the MASL 2 Division 2, so that's very competitive. I can say that. Just we've seen some wonderful players come out of there. So I'm very happy about that organization. Shout out Andres Trujillo.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Andres as well. Jorge, what are some of the differences that you've seen, like playing futsal compared to like arena soccer? Like,
the the ball never goes out, so it's quicker. You got to have a lot of condition. You got to be ready. You never know where the ball is gonna land or where the pass is gonna lead to. Yesterday that we were driving back, we were watching some of the games on our phones, and I was showing one of the shots that one of the keepers died for it, and it bounced off his back of the wall, and then it went in. So I mean, for me, I think I've tried out for the when the New Mexico Elite was going to be here in Santa Fe when they did the
Mm-hmm.
also the MASL.
Yep.
Um, I tried out, but I never liked it because I was never used to the ball once bouncing off the walls. It really threw me off, and I never got used to it. Never did. I was used to always playing futsal or 11 versus 11, where the ball would go out and you would either chase it or play it from the goal. And switching to that environment was very hard. It was very difficult to play and get used to it. So that's why I never did it.
And Chucky, as in recent history, last couple seasons, you've been the starting goalie for the Runners, right? So,
Uh, we've been off and on with the runners. Nate Yeagers is actually a really good competition. I think from my first season, I got hurt. I tore some ligaments in my knee in the game in Amarillo. So I guess you can say my first full season was my second season, and I split times with Nate Yeager. He did get a lot more of the nods.
mhm.
He's more experienced in that. But something that I did is the game that I would play, we would definitely show out and show why we were there and why we were chosen to be there.
Yeah, that's great. And then, Chucky, tell us the transition to the Santa Fe Gloom and just like some of our initial conversations, which I don't even really remember when they were, but I know we had probably talked at like a Runners game and we just chatted. Remind our audience just how kind of you connected with the Santa Fe Gloom.
No, it was great. I mean, the initial call was awesome. We, like we said, we talked for a little bit. You told me what the ambitions was for the organization as far as the Gloom, and that's something that intrigued me a lot. For me, it's an hour drive to be in Santa Fe, but it's an hour that can benefit us in the long run because what the Santa Fe Gloom is doing for the community of Santa Fe, it's amazing. It's something that people need to be out there. They got to witness it to just see the amazing environment we've been doing and what we're growing with the community.
That's right, because a lot of our fans, soccer fans, and Jorge, you can speak on this. We always have to go to Albuquerque for things, right?
Right,
So it's hard to catch Chucky at a local Santa Fe team because we didn't have one, right?
right,
So we'd
yeah,
have to go out to the elite. We'd have to go watch the runners. But now we can see Chucky and the other talent, some of the other Albuquerque guys who are playing for the Santa Fe Gloom. So, Jorge, I mean, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but you're a local Santa Fe guy. Right. So I think that's just cool that we're bringing Chucky down and the other players to Santa Fe, and Santa Fe gets to see what Albuquerque gets to see.
yes, exactly. Especially more now because I did it for 2 years. I
Yep.
traveled to Albuquerque 3 times a week to go practice plus games. So like finally like having it here, it was like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I did it for 2 years, and it was more commitment. That's where I met Chucky way before, from when Santa Fe would like put a small team together and we would compete against Albuquerque teams. I met him from there, but we never really like spoke or anything until Francisco Panchito. Big shout out to him too.
Hmm.
He was the one that invited me to Elite because Chucky was busy with the New Mexico runners, and so Chucky told him about me. He's like, hey, he's a great goalkeeper. He's a friend of mine, this and that. And I got the call from him 2 years ago, actually. And I started traveling with him to tournaments in Arizona, Colorado, California. And I think it built a great friendship with the guys from Albuquerque that are now playing with us, and so is Chucky. It built a great connection, a great friendship, and here we are sharing the court like always. A pleasure always playing with them, and it's always been fun, and it always be.
That's right. So Chucky, right before this, for our audience, he mentioned that our game is this Saturday against Albuquerque Flagship. And then Chucky mentioned, he said, well, where's the place to stay in Santa Fe for the hotel? Right. So that's a shout out to the city of Santa Fe and economic development that you're hearing this, that we've got all stars like Chucky who are coming down for the weekend and spending their money in Santa Fe. So that's one big thing that we want to do, right? We don't want our audience, our fans, our soccer community always traveling to Albuquerque, right? Not every
Yeah.
Saturday, maybe just once a month to go check out an elite game, a flagship game, and a runner game. But now we got these games here in Santa Fe. So on that note, talk us through our huge win, the Santa Fe Gloom's big win this past Saturday, 7-4 against Brusa FC. Santa Fe Gloom kept the first place spot. Uh, I mean, I don't know who wants to speak on the rivalry between like basically Brusa and everyone else in the league. I think Bruce's kicked some butt, so I think there's a lot of people gunning for them, just like the Gloom, like we are. But just kind of talk us through. I don't know who wants to start, but talk us through kind of just our mentality going into this game, being that this was just kind of really kind of say where we're at going into the next 4 home games on what direction we're going to be. Because I guess it was 2 to 3 weeks ago, Brusa beat us pretty good, right? And they gave us our first loss and kind of sent us back to reality when we were 2-0. So now we really seek revenge. So just kind of talk us through our mindset going into this game.
I'll do it, and then Chucky can. So I think this past well started from the drive back. I think it was really sour. Driving back 7 hours after you know getting our ass kicked, and it was really bad. So for I don't know, my mindset traveling back was you got to get back in our butts and start working again. And we had a big game against Colorado, which I wasn't able to attend. Either was Chucky available, but after coming back and being back in my routine, my mentality was we gotta beat Bruzo, we gotta beat him, we gotta beat him. Even on our way to Arizona, we talked about the game because the first game Chucky wasn't able to go either. So we kind of talked through about it, what their play was, what they would do. I would give out points to him and be like, "Hey, these guys are sneaky. They do this." So we had a big conversation about the whole game, and being in the hotel together, I think it really put out the connection even more. Being together, and then uh, just doing a film review right before the game just locked it in for everybody. You know,
Yep.
everybody was locked in since the beginning of the video till we finished it, and then we arrived at the center, and everybody was locked in, ready to go, ready to play, and we were pretty much ready to win.
Yeah.
That was
Touching
our
base on
mentality.
that, George, watching film, bro, watching film does it because none of their set plays work. So, understanding the game and understanding the philosophy of futsal, a lot of the game is on set plays, because the fouls, the ball goes out of bounds. A lot of the game is on set plays, and we understood their set plays.
Yeah, 100%. I think you guys touched on a lot of great points. Is for one, we were pissed, right, that we let up two losses, right? Secondly, we know we can correct our mistakes, and I think this is one huge takeaway is with both of you guys at goal. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're undefeated, right? So, Chucky, talk us through that first half, and it was 4-0 at halftime, right? And then when you started, I think against Colorado, it was also 4-0. So kind of talk us through your mentality of, blocking almost every shot, right? Or obviously every shot, and just the defense and just some of the technical stuff going into these games.
So it looks good, from the outside in. It looks good, I gave up 0 goals. It looks good. Don't get me wrong, but I got to give a big shout out to the defense because with me not being able to be vocal and organizing the team and as a defense, I wouldn't be as successful as I am. Um, I would have as much goals on average. Some of the defense does help me out, like Jeremy Valdez, Isai Rivas. and not just them, the team as well. You know, them helping me is what helps me help them. So if we move with the unit, it's impenetrable.
That's right. And Jorge, when you stepped in the second half, I think it was maybe 12 minutes, or it was the 12th minute that they scored their first goal. You had an
Yeah,
amazing save. It reflected, and then they scored, right? And then they made it 4-3. I almost had a damn heart attack on the bench when that ball was like rolling right by that line, and then you
yeah,
just like all of a sudden swooped it out. Like that was like the save of the game, in my opinion. And then shortly thereafter, I think it was Rivas who scored the PK
yeah,
after like, or it was, I don't know if it was a PK, it was a foul
yeah. I think
kick.
it was a PK, and then Peter scored, and then Chewy scored, and then I guess they got like a last minute
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So talk us through when it was 4-3 because the court got very loud at that point and there was still some time left. I don't really think they had like the momentum, right? I don't,
yeah.
even though it was 4-3, we still felt so confident that we were going to win the game. But being that it was 4-3, kind of talk us through what you were feeling at that moment, saying, okay, like we haven't scored yet. They put three on us. What are we going to do next?
No, I mean from the beginning, from the beginning that I stepped into the court when I was warming up, my mentality was we gotta still be at a clean sheet. We still gotta
Yeah.
be there. We still gotta
Yeah.
be there. We can't let them score. And obviously, I don't know. It's soccer. At some point, they were gonna break the jar from
Yeah.
just being there. Um, I mean, Chucky and all the defense had a way good first half. It was
Mhm.
powerful. Even they couldn't score with three players. We were down a player for 2 minutes and they couldn't score. So it was brilliant. Everything looked so fine. And for me, like to step on the second half was you got to keep the same momentum with everybody, keep defending the goal and keep it a clean sheet.
Yeah.
After the first goal, obviously, it gets you down at some point, but I mean, the game wasn't over. We weren't losing, so you just got to keep going. Um, After the 4-3, it did kind of got to me real bad because I've been in the situation where it happened to me with Flagship, where we were winning 4-1 first half, and then going into the second half, they flipped the game towards us 7-4, and we did a lot of mistakes where we got two red cards. So that's like 3-4 minutes without a player. We did a lot of fouls, so it was a lot of shootouts, and so it gave me that little memory back. So I didn't want to go through it again, especially because we were winning, and I just kept looking at our crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
For
my
sure.
lady was there, all
Yeah.
the travels, and then
Yeah.
I kept looking at you guys, and
Yep.
I just don't want to make a mistake or lose the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was it was a lot of pressure by myself, not because of the crowd or because of the
Mhm.
game, but it was a lot of pressure towards me. But I think at some points I was able to like manage it well, and then it gave more calm to everybody once Pato scored the shootout
Yeah.
because we missed like three or four of them. Which I mean, at some point I did feel a lot of blame of the goals. But then after missing the shootouts, I was just like, I mean, it cannot just be me. I mean, it's
That's right.
everybody.
The team
So
effort.
so when he scored, I mean, I think everything just kind of went back to normal. Their moral from Bruce, I just literally dropped to the floor.
Yeah.
It did because I noticed that they couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then we had that play where Peter steals the ball in the half,
Yep.
scores. So it even went more down for them. And then we have this play where they take a shot and it just comes to me at my body, and I just dribbled it out. And my first intention was to shoot, but once I see Jesus right open,
Yep.
I gave him the ball, and I think
That's
that
it.
7-3 was just killed him. That just killed him, and I think that's where I knew I was like nothing can go wrong anymore. We're pretty much done with the game. We sealed the deal after that seventh goal. So it was kind of hard. It was a lot of pressure. I'm not gonna lie about
Yeah.
it. It's pretty big, but I mean, I'm glad the game turned out the way we wanted to.
Yeah. No, for
Big
sure.
big 3 points.
Yeah.
Big 3 points.
It was huge. It was huge for us. And I think I said it once, I'll say it again. Like the first half, Jorge, you and I were talking, right? Just going
Yeah.
back and forth, encouraging the guys. And then Chucky, the second half, you and I were kind of doing the same thing along with everyone else, just encouraging everybody. And that's what it took because we brought 9 total players, right? So 2 goalkeepers and then 7 players on the court. We play with 4 players on the court. And Jorge, you mentioned something really important that, or yeah, it was obviously one of you guys, but I think it was Jorge that it was we had 3 players on the court because Brian Rivas got 2 yellows, so he got sent off, and we were playing with 3 guys and they didn't score, and that was in the first half, right? When they
Yeah,
had
that
fresh legs, and
fresh
I mean
legs.
that's unbelievable. That's probably Bruce was probably pissed about that, and they're known for those those sneaky goals, and I think that broke their morale as well. Chucky, I think you had a couple diving saves. The goalpost saved us a couple times at least.
I'll be honest. I touched the ball, fingertip saves both times.
Okay. So there you
Both
go. So
times.
they
You
were
guys
saves.
heard it from me.
They were saves. Yeah. So I mean, all of that put together, Santa Fe Gloom were first place, and now we've got two big games against Flagship, both at home. So just kind of giving a preview to those games. Chucky, I'll start with you. Just being that, well, both of you guys have played with those players. Just give a brief preview and just that rivalry that Albuquerque and Santa Fe could have now.
No, it's gonna be a game. It's gonna be a game. There's gonna be some things that are gonna be happening, and the game is gonna be very fluent. We can't underestimate the flagship, even though they're 0-2 in the season. We cannot underestimate them because, you know, this is soccer.
That's right.
Wish everything was in a perfect world, but it's not. Things can go south right away.
Yeah.
So we just got to keep working and keep the same momentum we kept with Brusa. We got to keep it going forward, and not just these next 2 games against Flagship, but on forward for the next games that we have. So we have 4 games in Santa Fe, so we hope to see everybody there because we're gonna need everybody's support to maintain the number 1 position.
That's right. Jorge, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, all those 4 games are gonna be very important to us. Not just the this flagship game, but I mean the following flagship game, and then receiving Colorado, and then finishing off with Brusa because I mean they're not going to be done with their schedule. So once we're done, we're not going to know what position we're going to stay on, how the table's going to sit. So it's going to be better for us just to win all 4 games, and keep moving. Have that momentum, like just Chucky said that we had against Brusa, and just hope to see everybody out there because there's a big soccer community here, a
That's
big
right.
one. They just need to be out there, and support everybody because the team is not just mine. It's not just Chucky or it's you that you're the owner. It's everybody. It's for the community. I think that's the first reason why it was made, for the
Yep.
community to have something just like they have the New Mexico Runners, like they have the New Mexico United. So I think they should just come and support us. Doesn't matter who's on the core. If we have the Albuquerque guys or we have the Santa Fe guys, it's a big, big community, and I think this team is really forming into a big family. I think the bond with everybody, it's created from the first day till now. So it's a big team. It's not just little groups here and there. No, it's a big team. Everybody plays with each other. Everybody enjoys being with each other. So we hope to see everybody there now that it's free because sometimes they charge you $12 out there. Here it's free, guys. Free.
Can't beat it. You can't
So
beat it.
you can't beat it. No, exactly.
And Chucky, tell the audience and our fans what you were doing right before we won the game, what you were yelling, and I'll remind you.
I think I'm gonna need a reminder. I can't. Doesn't come to
So
mind
it
right
was
now.
7-4, I think, right? And you started shouting. What were you saying? And then our fans on the
Let's
other side
go
started to
Gloom.
react
Let's
because
go Gloom.
that's right. We had about, I don't know, I think it was Yermi's family, right? And you can see we posted on Instagram in that photo. I mean, there was like at least 5 people there, right? Like at least that traveled with Yermi's family, right? So then I remember them scoring that third goal, and then 7-4, right? And then everything changed, and Chucky, you led that chant. So it was,
Just like I said, it's momentum. This game is a strategy game. It's a mental game. And if you're losing mentally, it dolls on you. So the chat. Thank you to the fans for being there. Supporting
yeah,
that chat.
yeah,
Not easy. It was Bruce's house, but it looked like Gloom territory to me.
that's right. No, me too, man. So I think that's maybe a chant that we're gonna start on Saturday night before, after, and during the game is the "Let's Go Gloom." I think could really pop. If it popped in Phoenix, right, with 7-4, it's definitely gonna pop in Santa Fe when we're winning. I don't know, 10-3 or whatever, right?
And that, and not just in Arizona. I think when we played against Flagship in Albuquerque, everybody was there. It
Good
looked
point.
like a home. Every time us scoring and everything, it was just loud. It was real loud. That's why I say there's a big soccer community here.
Yeah,
There's a big one, and I know there is.
yeah,
So, I mean, them traveling all the way over there was nice. My girlfriend, Chucky's girlfriend, Jeremy's family, which is I think the most loudest and biggest
yeah,
ones, but I mean it all counts. It counts. And Bruce was just quiet. The
yeah,
whole crowd was just quiet. So
yeah.
it was great. It was great.
Cool. Anything else, guys? This has been great. We'll definitely, obviously, have you guys back on. Thank you for giving our listeners just all kind of the behind the scenes, and thank you both for being, the top goalies in the league, right? And that's my opinion, and we've got two of them on the same team. So, congratulations on both of your successes in soccer, and thanks for the commitment to both of you guys. With the Santa Fe Gloom, when we first started this, we had high expectations, right? Because Jorge, you hit on a lot of good points that, it's just a soccer community, right? And a lot of our soccer fans are Hispanic, right? So when you're going
Yeah,
out to a Gloom game, you're hearing Spanish and English, right? And a lot of these games,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
So now we're bringing our community together, where sometimes it would have not been as together in other events in the town. So I think that's one huge thing that the Gloom brings out, is that it brings everyone together. And then if we're saving shots and scoring goals, it makes it that much more fun. So congratulations on both of your successes in your careers. You guys are great guys. I mean, we hang out every Thursday at least, calling and texting all the time. So you
yeah,
guys have just made a huge impact in our Santa Fe community. I mean, you guys are all stars, and you guys deserve all the credit and all the hard work, because I see how hard it is to do these things. Our bodies get beat up on that hard court and that floor. I mean, you guys are the ones who are, diving on that court. I mean, we'll see Rivas do it every once in a while, right?
yeah.
Both Rivas's, but you guys do it like every play. So shout
Good
out to you
job.
guys. Any last words,
No,
moments?
no. Thank you, David, for
Yeah,
bringing this opportunity out here to Santa Fe, and bringing something big.
hmm
Hopefully, it's not just the first year. It can
that's
go
right.
on for many years, not just for me or the time that I will be able to play, but for the people that are here in Santa Fe, that they love soccer and that they love being here. Um, I would just want to say it's always nice sharing the court with Chucky. It's not
Yeah,
the first time that I've done it. It's been with tournaments with elite. It's been games, going half and halves. Doesn't really change much, because if he plays half, first half, second half, I play whatever. I just know the team always has a secure spot, and it could always stay at a clean sheet.
that's right.
It's always been nice and cool to spend the court with him, and he knows it. We talk about it all the time, and even with flagship practices, with New Mexico lead-up practices, with tournaments and everything. I think we've created a good bond, and um, what I liked from the people here in Santa Fe, that received them very well. The first game, I wasn't able to play either, but he did a great part. I saw the game through my phone, and everybody was cheering on his saves. Everybody likes him here, just like if I would be playing. So that makes me very happy, and just thank you, David, for being bringing this opportunity to not just for me, for him and for who everybody else tried out, but they didn't want to stay because they didn't want to put any effort, you know.
Yep.
And like I told every other guy, you know, if you want to win a spot, you got to work for it. It's not going to be handed, you know. And I like having Chucky here because he brings a lot of competition between us, you know, and we work for it and we always
That's
be
right.
there. So it's a great friendship.
Yep.
So
No.
Yeah, no, it's
it's
crazy for Brazil.
Well said.
Like, what do you do in this situation? You know, you have two goalkeepers that are practicing and that are committed to the team. What do you do? What do you do to that situation? Like Coca said, we've been doing this for 3 years. This is going to be our third year that we've been competing, you know, side by side with each other. So it's like he gets better, I get better. He gets better, I get better. So it's, you know, something that's beneficial for us and for the Gloom and for the Gloom community. I
Yeah.
also want to give a shout out to all the Gloom community. I hope to see you guys there February 10th. What time is the game at, David?
It's at 7. Doors open at 3:30 for the kiddos to go play, learn futsal, and then the Gloom game's at 7.
There you guys go. You know, hope to have the whole community there. I know we have uh, some a theme going on that's going to be Blackout Night. I
Yep.
know he is gonna. I know the Gloom organization is gonna have some shirts there for sales.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and support that. You know, let's purchase some Gloom gear so we can make sure that everybody knows whose house that is.
That's right. Amen. Thank you
yeah.
both.
No,
Thank you
thank
guys.
you.
Look forward to Saturday night. I'll see you guys for practice. Good job. We got the two best goalies in the futsal Premier League. So we got Jorge and Chucky. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And we might be able to get a reaction video after the flagship game. So you guys are always more than welcome to jump on. So you guys know that. So
Yeah. Thank
thank
you,
you guys.
David.
Appreciate it.
All right.
See you
Thanks.
guys.
Thank you. We'll see you guys.